Hi everyone, it's Deirdre here. I'm making this quick video today because I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the state of the economy. Um, I get up in the morning and I check my email and scan the headlines and take a look at it a little bit of what's going on with the economy. And things just seem a bit dire right now. I came across this article. It is Wages Stink at America's Most Common Jobs. Fastest growing job pays under $10 an hour. In a lot of places in this country, you can't even survive on $10 an hour. Now, even in places where the cost of living is not as much, it's kind of difficult to survive on $10 an hour. Um, Workers in the seven largest occupations typically earn less than $30,000 a year, and that's according to new data published by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The nation's average annual pay is $45,790. The most common job, one of the most common job, is food prep workers, and they have the lowest pay at about $19,000 a year, you see, and this was in 2012. Cashiers and waiters are also popular. They average out to about $21,000 annually, and that's just not enough money to live on. And just imagine what state a lot of these people are going to be in if these are the type of wages that they're earning across their lifetime. Now, true, some of these people are getting educations and will go on to better jobs, but I mean, a lot of them aren't. They're just working, trying to make ends meet, and school is so expensive now that it's being priced out of, a lot of people's reach. So, unless you're getting like an academic scholarship or some type of specialized grant, it's kind of difficult to go to school sometimes. Even if you go to school, that's no guarantee that you're going to make a decent living wage unless you choose a specialized profession like being a doctor and nurse. As you can see here, nursing is one of the most popular professions, and they're probably one of the few that earn a good living, averaging at about $68,000 a year. Now, that's pretty decent living. You can live on that. Um, Also, the gap is getting wider between lower income and higher income earners, and the middle class is kind of disappearing. You're gonna just have two classes. You're gonna have people who pretty much earn nothing and are enough to barely get by, and people who are really raking in the dough. Um, a recent proposal has been to push the minimum wage to $9 an hour, but I won't get into that. Normally, when you raise, I guess, the minimum wage, you have a lot of other things that go along with that, and I'm not really going to get into that. But my point is, a lot of people just are barely scraping by. Over here, this article was written in December, and a lot of people are on unemployment right now. But what are these people going to do when the unemployment run out? And these aren't just people, in low wage jobs. These are people who have been employed for years and years and years. Like this guy here, Stuart Floyd. Floyd, he's out of Vermont, and he worked in a Fortune 500 company for 24 years, and he's been out of work since July of 2011. He's living with a friend, had to sell all his personal belongings. What kind of life is that to look forward to? This next lady here, um, she actually went to live with her father when she stopped receiving her unemployment benefits. She used them to pay her health insurance, pay off her debt, and pay for gas and stuff like that. And now she's applied for food stamps and general assistance, and she's waiting to hear. But she's sort of in a good position because she has family that she can live with. And I see a lot more people going to live with family now because they just can't afford to live on their own, and it's just more cost effective for people to pool their resources and live together. But my question to you is, why should you have to live like that? Why are you working for years and years and years building someone else's dream when you can pretty much build your own dream Why not start your own business? Now, I hear a lot of people probably say, "Hey, it's not that easy," but pretty much if you set your mind to it, you can do it. I know it sounds kind of corny, but it's true. You have to believe that it's going to work out in order for it to work out. And it's been proven over the years that one of the best times to start a new business is when the economy is in kind of a downturn. So what I'm saying is sometimes you have to think outside of the box when things are not going exactly the way that you would like economically. And one of the great things about thinking outside of the box is that you don't necessarily have to start a traditional business. Technology is a wonderful thing, and you can use it to start an online business. Now, the great thing about starting an online business is that it costs much less than starting a traditional brick and mortar business. And actually, there are a lot of great things about online businesses, and I'll go into a few of them now. Here are 5 reasons to start an online business. First of all, like I said, your startup costs are going to be relatively low. You can pretty much start an online business with no money to maybe a few $100s or so. Secondly, freedom. You don't have to be tied to an office. You can work whenever and wherever you want to. So you can be anywhere in the world and work your online business. Third, you have a global market at your fingertips. You're not tied to the regional market or your local market. You can market to anyone you want to around the world. Fourth, your overhead costs are low. You don't have to worry about paying for employees and benefits. And if you do need someone to help you with your work, it's relatively easy to outsource on the internet. There are a lot of resources that are available to you, and they cost a whole lot less than actually having to hire an employee. Fifth, you have powerful, fast marketing and communication right at your disposal. Basically, the internet is instantaneous. If you want to run an ad campaign on the internet, then you could pay for one today and get started today. Also, communicating is easy with the internet. You have access to tons of social media, and social media is expanding at such a rapid rate, it's unreal. So, if you're wondering where do I start, I would suggest starting at www.onlinemoneydigest.info. It is a great free system that you can use to get started with an online business today. So go ahead, visit that site www.onlinemoneydigest.info and take a look at the opportunity and go ahead and get started with your future today.